Crazy game, 4 PKs in one game. I don't know if I've ever experienced that. But yeah, look, we're obviously disappointed. So, international break coming up, chance to get players back and make the most of what we can and continue to stay positive. I don't think there's ever been something that says if you start out a certain way, you're going to end a certain way. So I don't think that that should be hyper focused on. But what I do think is that we are disappointed, and we can't continue to drop points like this. And we're aware of that. We feel disappointed in that. But again, there's no path. My pregame speech was finding ways to always find your glass half full. There's no path to say that if you win your first such and such games, you're going to win the rest of the season and you're going to make playoffs. So I think it's really important that we're not picking up points from the finest margins, so focusing on those finest margins, those fine margins, excuse me, but also understanding that we still feel like we're in a good place. We just feel disappointed.
Questions? Michael, go ahead.
Hey, Bev, just a few from me. I know you're probably ready to get back.
No worries.
I think you have to kind of be pleased with the attacking effort so far this year. You maybe just talk a little bit about that. It seems like goals are there. You're finding
Yeah.
yourself in good spots. That's the positive side of things.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We've talked a lot just from the past few games, and look, and in reference to my pregame speech, I'm going to go back again. Is like we've talked about the first match against North Carolina and things that we felt like we could improve on into the next match, and the group's really growing in all of those spaces, and it has improved. And I said this in my pregame media that we are continuing to find ways to focus on where we believe we can be better. And I do believe we are being better and getting better in those areas. And I do believe that the group's executing in those spaces. And one thing that we've been talking about a lot is, movement higher up the pitch, being a bit more threatening. What's that final ball look like? Is there someone in a better position to play that final ball? Shots on target. Let's make the goalkeeper make a save or the ball's in the back of the net, right? To get us a little bit of momentum. Can we get 2, 3 attacking corners in a row? So we've spoken a lot about those pieces in the past few weeks. And definitely thought the group put themselves in good moments throughout the game. I know we spoke at halftime and we really felt from a transition perspective that with Avery Patterson going higher on the right, that we could really use Ella and expose them a bit. And exploit them a bit on that left-hand side. So something that we discussed at halftime. But yeah, I mean, look, we're putting goals in the back of the net and we're just walking away with no points from fine margins. Do I think that's the place we want to be in? Of course not. Anyone would sit here and say you want points and it's disappointing to not. But also I don't think that there's large margins in any way, shape, or form. And in fact, I feel like we've been really good in certain aspects of our identity and our game. So that doesn't make me want to push the panic button. It's just, of course, our reality is right now, 4 games in, we're on 1 point, and we would prefer not to be in that position.
Yeah, I think panic button. Stay away from the panic button. But I'm going to read
Yeah.
you four numbers:
Yes.
2, 2, 2, 4. That's what you've conceded in the first 4 matches. That's 10 goals. If not back to the drawing board, and I know you're kind of limited somewhat personnel wise, is there something, a tweak you can make defensively to kind of maybe stop the bleeding back there a little bit? Because, having that on the other side of the scoreline is not going to get you many points.
Yeah, no. Again, when we go back and look at this match and topics that we've already discussed as a staff of potential topics that we want to go over during the international break, we'll decide those as a staff. Again, 2 today. Those 10 goes down to 9-8. Without the 2 PKs, I'm aware we got 2 on our end too. So those 2 account towards our goals 4. But I mean, if you're talking back to all of the goals, of course, we have to assess as a group where we can be better, and we have to. But if you're going back to like Sofia Cantore's goal, I mean, it's a freaking banger. If you're looking at a lot of them outside of 2 PKs, like finding themes, finding trends, but of course also respecting sometimes that, there is going to be a moment of brilliance on the other end. I'm not saying there was 10 moments of brilliance, but you get my point. So I think it's really important that we keep the group in a good headspace to understand that this is a part of the process, which is why I keep emphasizing we are aware, we're disappointed, but we're also, we have to focus on the process, and it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. And I do believe that we are progressing in areas. I do believe that the city, the club, everybody should be proud of the group's performances. It's just unfortunate at this point we don't have any points outside of the 1 point from the tie.
Yeah. So to my eyes tonight, again, 4 goals. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But just
Yeah.
kind of take the 4 goals off the table for a minute. There was a little bit of disorganization in the back, it seems, in transition. Some of that you would think is maybe players just not playing with each other a whole lot and don't know kind of where to be in transition, because that seemed to be the struggle. Did you share a similar assessment, or did you see something different?
Yeah, look, we spoke about ways in possession that we felt we could potentially expose them from, higher up in the pockets, kind of what we looked like. We spoke about the press. I thought they were very organized in the two shapes that we felt that they would present and what different roles players would have in those moments. So when you talk about those spaces overall, like very pleased with the group there. I think, when it went a bit more of, are we going to secure this and be able to go forward? Or when it kind of turned over twice, and then it came back, they had so many numbers, right? And, can we be a bit better in those moments? Like, what does our delay look like to get more numbers into the game so that we don't feel so isolated? We don't feel like we're, underloaded or even matched in that moment. Again, it is something that we'll go back and look at. But yeah, just I can't emphasize enough, like that, the group's disappointed. We're all disappointed. And to get the of course the PK against for them to go up 4-3 that late. It's tough. It's tough. And yeah, we just have to continue to put ourselves in the best position possible. We've got to use this international break for a fantastic opportunity to refresh, to get together as a group, to touch the topics that we know. Obviously, we'll have 2 players out of the environment at that point, but with the injuries coming back, the majority of the group being together is going to be really important for us during this time to refresh and cover the content that we have to cover as a group.
Okay, just one final quick one from me. We
Of course.
saw, what was it, 60 or 70 minutes from Emma tonight. She's going to go away on international duty. Have you talked to the national team a little bit about kind of managing her minutes over the international break?
Look, just really happy that, she's doing better in reference to last week, and really excited for her. She means a lot to this group. Very excited for her to get called in, excited for her opportunity again with the national team that we all know she's fully deserved and has fully earned. So just so excited to be able to, watch what she can do in camp these next few matches. They have 3 against Japan. Is that correct? Yeah. So yeah, just excited for her and glad and happy to have her back.
Okay, that's all for me. Thanks, Bev.
Thank you.